Today I'm going to tell you which 1976 penny is truly rare, and which one is just normal. I have two coins in front of me. One is a good luck coin that looks cleaner and more natural, and the other is dirty with heavy scratch lines that can easily trick people into thinking it's an error. But here's the truth. Most rare-looking lines are only damage from circulation, cleaning, or rough handling. In this short, I'll compare both pennies side by side and show you the fast checks real collectors use. Watch how the light moves across the surface, because real errors usually look consistent, while scratches look sharp, random, and they often cut straight across the design. Look closely at the letters and edges. Damage breaks the clean shapes, while a normal coin keeps the details smooth even if it's old. Dirt can hide clues, so I'll tilt and zoom so you can clearly see the metal, not just the color. Stay until the end because I'll point to the exact spot that decides it. Comment rare or normal before I reveal which one it is. Welcome back to the Daddy Cent Profile. Today we're talking about the 1976 coin, a year that looks common at first glance, but hides powerful potential if you know exactly what to look for. The 1976 Lincoln cent was minted in huge numbers to celebrate America's bicentennial era. Millions were struck, and most of them are still only worth face value. But here's the truth serious collectors understand. Condition, rarity, and error varieties can completely change the game. Let's break it down clearly and honestly. In normal circulated condition, meaning the coin has been used in everyday transactions, a 1976 cent is usually worth 1 to 5 cents. Brown color, heavy wear, scratches, and dull surfaces keep the value low. These are extremely common. Now step into uncirculated condition. An uncirculated 1976 cent, one that was never used in daily commerce, can be worth anywhere from $1 to $10 depending on color and surface quality. Collectors look for strong red luster. If the coin still has its original bright red shine with no wear and very few marks, the value climbs. But here's where things get interesting. High-grade examples graded MS67 red by professional grading services have sold at auction for hundreds and sometimes over $1,000. Because perfect condition coins from high mintage years are surprisingly hard to find. Most were thrown into circulation immediately, so flawless examples are rare. Now let's talk about the serious money range, the $12,000 to $20,000 level people get excited about. A normal 1976 cent will not reach that value. However, rare error varieties or extremely high-grade certified coins with major minting mistakes can enter five-figure territory at major auctions. Here are the types of errors that could dramatically increase value. Double die obverse. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. If you see clear doubling that is strong and separated, not just machine vibration, this could be valuable. Off-center strike. If part of the design is missing because the coin was struck incorrectly, and the date is still visible, collectors pay strong premiums. Broad strike error. When the coin is struck without the retaining collar, it spreads wider than normal. Clipped planchet, a curved or straight missing section from the edge caused by a cutting error at the mint. Wrong planchet error, extremely rare, but if a 1976 cent was accidentally struck on a different metal blank, values can skyrocket. Major die breaks or cuds, large raised blobs of metal caused by a cracked die. These kinds of dramatic mint errors are rare. When authenticated and graded, they can sell for thousands, and in exceptional cases, over $10,000 at auction if demand is strong and the error is spectacular. Another factor that pushes value high is color designation. Red coins bring the most money. Red-brown bring moderate premiums. Brown coins usually stay lower in value. Collectors pay heavily for original mint red surfaces without spots, carbon stains, or discoloration. Now let's talk about grading. This is critical. The difference between MS65 and MS67 can mean thousands of dollars. Tiny marks invisible to beginners can reduce value dramatically. That's why serious high-value coins are usually certified by professional grading companies before selling at major auctions. If you believe your 1976 cent is special, never clean it. Cleaning destroys original surfaces and can reduce value instantly. Leave it exactly as you found it. Here's a quick realistic value guide. Circulated condition, 1 to 5 cents. Average uncirculated, $1 to $10. High grade MS66, MS67 red, hundreds to over $1,000. Major authenticated mint error, hundreds to several thousand. Exceptional rare error in top condition at auction, potentially $12,000 to $20,000, but only in extraordinary cases. Remember this, auctions determine true market value. A coin is only worth what a real buyer is willing to pay on that day. Hype does not create value, rarity and demand do. Before assuming your coin is worth thousands, inspect it under magnification. Look for strong doubling, unusual strike issues, dramatic errors, and near-perfect surfaces. Compare weight, check for unusual metal color, and study the details carefully. Most 1976 cents are common. But hidden among millions could be a true gem, a high-grade red beauty, or a rare mint error waiting to be discovered. Knowledge is your advantage. Condition is everything. And patience wins in the coin world. Good luck searching your 1976 cent and always verify before you celebrate. Listen closely because this coin is the kind most people throw away without thinking. A 1976 scratched and dirty Lincoln cent looks like nothing special. It's dark, it's rough, it has marks, and it feels like it lived a hard life in pockets, drawers, and old jars. But here's the truth, not every dirty coin is worthless and not every scratched coin is ruined. Sometimes a coin like this is just normal circulation. Other times, it's hiding something collectors actually look for. First, understand what the 1976 Lincoln cent really is. This penny was made during America's bicentennial year, but the design stayed classic. Abraham Lincoln on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Most 1976 pennies are made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, and they weigh about 3.11 grams. They were struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco mainly for proof coins with an S. Because millions were made, most 1976 pennies are common. That means the real value usually depends on condition, not the date. Now let's talk about your scratched and dirty coin in different styles, because scratched can mean many things. Style 1 is the normal one, light scratches and natural dirt. If your coin has small marks from circulation, dark brown toning, and dirt stuck in tiny places, it's usually just a circulated penny. In this case, it's not rare. But it can still have small value because it's copper and collectible in basic sets. Most of these are worth about 2 cents to 10 cents. If it's nicer than average and still has sharper details, sometimes it can reach 25 cents. Not big money, but not useless. Style 2 is heavier scratching, but the coin still has full detail. Maybe there are many visible scratches, maybe Lincoln's face looks worn, but you can still clearly see the memorial lines on the back. This is usually considered damaged, and collectors don't pay extra for damage. Most of these stay around face value, or a few cents. Some people keep them for copper stacking, but collectors who pay premiums usually want cleaner surfaces. Style 3 is the rough survival coin. Deep gouges, corrosion, or environmental damage. If your penny has deep cuts, green spots, black chemical stains, pitting, or looks like it was buried or soaked, that's environmental damage. Coins like this usually have no collector premium. They're generally worth 1 cent, and sometimes people don't even want them unless they're buying copper in bulk. But now comes the style that changes everything. Style 4 is when the scratch is not really a scratch. Sometimes what looks like a line on the coin is actually a mint error. It could be a die crack, a die break, a struck-through mark, or a lamination issue. Here's a simple way to test it. If the line is cut into the coin, it's damage. If the line is raised above the surface, it might be a mint error. That's a big difference, and it's exactly where surprise money can appear. If your coin has a real error, the value can jump. A small but clear error might sell for $5, $10, or more. A dramatic error can go higher, especially if collectors can clearly see it and the coin is authenticated. Not every mark is an error, but it's worth checking carefully under bright light. Now listen to this part, because it saves value. Do not clean the coin. A lot of people think cleaning will reveal the real value, But cleaning usually destroys value. Even if the coin looks ugly, original surfaces are safer. Shiny cleaned pennies look unnatural, and collectors can spot it fast. A dirty original coin can still be collectible. A cleaned coin becomes a problem coin. So what is the honest truth about a scratched and dirty 1976 penny? Most of them are not rare. Most of them are worth 1 to 5 cents, maybe a little more if they're nicer than average. The date alone doesn't make it valuable. The money comes from condition, special mint versions like proof coins, or genuine mint errors. Before you decide the worth, do 4 quick checks. Check the mint mark. No mint mark means Philadelphia, D means Denver, and this often points to proof coins. Check the color. Red is stronger value, red-brown is medium, brown is most common. Check the scratch. Raised means possible error, cut means damage. And if you can, check the weight. A normal 1976 copper cent should be around 3.11 grams. If it's far off, something unusual might be going on. Here's the final verdict. A scratched and dirty 1976 Lincoln cent is usually just a common coin with copper value. But if it has a real mint error, strong detail, or unusual features, it can be worth real collector money. Most are common. Some are interesting. And a very small number are the ones that make collectors stop and look twice. That's why you never judge the coin by dirt alone, you judge it by what the marks actually are.